Steven actually on vacation? Do you know?
He did mention that yesterday, I think, right? I think he did say that he was,
I just noticed on Slack it says it has his
yeah.
tree, vacation tree.
Yeah, because he mentioned yesterday that he wanted to, that's why we discussed in depth that other thing yesterday, because he mentioned he was going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
out for like a week or something, or 2 weeks maybe even.
And then everyone else is out for
Yeah, the Java thing.
Spring One.
Yeah.
Joe's too cool to go to those plebeian conferences now.
Yeah. He's too busy writing his, Go code. He's moved on to better languages.
He has no comment.
Yeah. As I post for help in the Golang chat, I'm like, help me now. Yeah.
Man, I'm so concerned now with John leaving.
He's my crutch, man, for like, oh, this Go thing just did something really weird. And John's like, oh, it's just this thing over here that's like, 8 environment variables, and it'll code the way you want it to. I'm like, oh, cool, I guess. And now he's not going to be there. So I have to actually post to people and
Joke's on us now.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. I guess we'll give it like another minute and then just call it.
Could I just talk more about stack packs?
We could, yeah. I was hoping to get into that code the last couple of days, but now the bustle, I have a plan forward to unblock myself on the stuff that I'm working on, but then also some other people got blocked by us not having a staging.
We should have this conversation not in the recorded working group meeting.
Yeah, that's why I stopped saying whatever the words were. But I'm unblocked.
You got sidetracked
by more work. There's more work for something else that I have to do now. So I haven't actually got to look at it. But there was some questions related to the platform group this morning. They were talking about StackPack and Conoco. That's relevant. They were talking about Windows, and one of the people said that they looked at it and thought that it looked like it wouldn't take too many changes for Conoco itself to work for Windows. So they seem pleased with it, and they would like to help test it when we get to the point where we're producing images. Because I think
the Conoco right now, people? We're not.
No. This is Pivotal.
The Windows team.
The Windows team. Runs? Yeah, Windows team. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they want to start investigating that once we produce images, because I think we're at the point where we're not producing images yet in that branch, right, Joe? We're running the packs, but we're not exporting. Yeah. Okay. That's where I thought we were. And so I think that's the next big step, isn't it? Is to start writing images.
Yeah, that's right. I talked to Steven about this yesterday, and I think we'll be able to do the build stack changes and merge that before we do the extend phase, which is where you actually produce an image. During build, you basically just like make the changes in line, cache them, but you don't ever actually create the image. And so the Windows part would be just the extend, I guess. Maybe there's more to it than that. It seems like the build image part would just work. I'm sure there's some edge cases though.
Right.
But in any case, yes, you are right. The extend is the next big piece, and I'm hoping we can merge the builder piece before that, just to, I'm mostly just worried about the Go mod. Like, I'm tired of having conflicts in it.
You don't like the dependency manager?
Yeah.
So we have to extend the run image, right? Because the build image, you don't have to do anything because you run that just on top of, and then you just continue running. And then we're going to run extend, and we're going to basically run those same stack build packs. I say same. It could be a subset of them, I guess, right? I don't know. Did we do the whole build run thing at this point? Or is it all of them?
So, yeah, I punted on that because I think we can add it later.
I think that's fine. Yeah. So
right
now it is the same collection.
Pretty sure we'll need it, but yeah.
So does that mean we're going to have to, how are we going to get those packages over to the run image? Because we're going to boot up this run image, right? Your current base run image, so Heroku 18. And are we going to like volume mount in just the stack packages or something? Is that kind of the idea?
Yeah, it will be
from the
expected
build?
that the platform injects the extender binary and the stack packs.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna have to have something. So life cycle, or I guess I say we said platform, right? So I guess this is not a life
Right,
cycle
right. Yeah.
thing.
So
So
it's
this
like
is
lifecycle can just assume that that stuff has been done.
so anything
And
that's
then
in
it'll,
Buildpacks, it will run basically. Is that kind of
mhm.
the okay?
Yeah, actually, I think it'll be /stack/ build packs,
Okay,
like CMB /stack/ build packs. Like we're going to put them in a different directory, basically.
so that's interesting. So is the
But
so life cycle is not going to the builder phase is not going to put anything into those directories. Is that right? So it's going to be done by the platform.
yes,
Oh, that's weird.
I think we,
It's
yeah,
because
we
it doesn't
definitely need
have to be
to,
the same ones in some case, like the same ones that just ran.
I'm pretty sure that that's right. But yeah, we need to talk to Steven about that kind of stuff and then the run builder. Because after it's done, we need to do something with the layers that have. Well, no, we might even just chuck them, I think is what he was saying.
Maybe
Yeah, I
I'm
think he was
okay.
saying that, like, yeah, I don't know. Good chat.
Did
Hey
you get
Joe,
Jesse
looks
to
like
rage quit?
What's up, David?
I thought that both Terrence and Jesse left. I forgot. I guess it's a really small Thursday meeting.
Joe has that effect on people.
You're not partaking in the Spring One festivities?
Not so much. We just moved some 9 p.m. at night for us. I figured I'd call in for the working group meeting, but otherwise, I'm out of meetings.
That's fair. Now that are you back?
Yeah,
Can we bug you about your RC?
sure. That's why I called in. I responded for today, but if you have comments, I'd
But you're okay with sub team dealing with that?
I'm okay with it. I definitely think it would be it's easier to pass it all off to the author, but I appreciate that we want to make sure that it's as approachable as possible. I did try to put in like a bit of form, like just because I sometimes have like difficulty when I look at something at RFCs tagged with with what's all again that they're in FCP. I'm sometimes not sure whether they're FCP. Like, I don't know whether they're actually an FCP or whether it was just like a bit delayed, etc. So I just said that we should add the label. If it's an FCP, it's going to be approved. It just needs issues created. Just add a bit of formula around that, but I'm happy taking that out if people think that's like overkill.
What was your question about FCP? Like if it's actually going to go in?
Yeah.
I think the FCP means that it's been approved pending like any other new context. So that should generally, like, I think for most RFCs, and I think that this has been true for the most part, right? I mean, Joe could call me out. I guess I'm wrong, but like,
I remember some with merged closed disposition,
yeah.
but
Sorry, what was the question?
Oh, just that like once a decision's made once a RFC has hit FCP, like it generally doesn't change. Like it's kind of leaving the opportunity for new context to be brought up. I think generally that will also, hopefully, as the project grows, be probably even like community led. Like maybe community people will focus more, hopefully, on things that are FCP or more time sensitive. And it's like I could see, for instance, like say Joe's stack pack stuff goes into FCP or the mix in one, and it's like oh, hey, I actually use Buildpacks and like I have this use case that maybe you didn't think of, and maybe it moves it back to drawing board, or maybe it doesn't move the needle, and we just go through with it, right?
Yeah, I think the idea is like 80% of people who are somewhat involved in the project don't care about the bickering and back and forth before FCP, right? And they don't want to get involved. Like they don't have strong opinions. They don't want to get involved in the little discussions we've had on like stack packs. So they might not pay attention they might not pay attention to something until it hits FCP, in which case they know it's like stable enough that they can take it seriously and don't need to like think about it as much as Steven does or something. And you know, just like Terrence said, then it could go back to the drawing board based on something that they uncover there. But you know, if they were comfortable enough to get to that point, it's most likely like a minor thing that they're concerned about. I think that's the intention.
Yeah, it leaves the door open, I guess, for input. Or I guess like the other way it's used sometimes is when like for instance, Steven's on vacation right now, and like maybe we will move something because votes go in. And when he comes back, it's like giving him enough window to basically and to like chime in for feedback. It's like, hey, I know everyone's busy, like this has gotten enough momentum and approval from everyone else, like to move it forward, right? Like it's like vote now or forever hold your peace, or like comment now or forever hold your peace kind of thing. For I guess the kind of core and sub team people, like maintainers and contributors as well. It's like so I think like contributors and maintainers can also have that impact even with non-binding votes. It's like, hey, like this is actually a real problem for this particular team because we haven't thought about this thing, right?
That's fair. Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to just do it for stuff that has FCP. We like create the issue, and I mean, I guess it could be the other alternative you could do is like just when stuff gets merged in, like you just keep track of what's actually been merged, and then make issues off of that afterwards. But maybe that's hard to track. I don't know.
That's the current practice. It's just, I think that it's easier to ensure that something is going to actually be created if we make sure that that's like a gatekeeper.
Yeah. And I'm happy if it's just like the label, the issue is not created, can block, like we'll block FCP merging on that. Just ensure that happens if that's something we really want to do.
Are you saying you're happy if that is? Well, to be fair, if it's an issue, then someone like some of the people who would otherwise merge it in can also create the issues,
Yeah,
or can
like,
at least create
if they really want to merge this in, like please create the issue.
Yeah. And anyways, it hopefully should be done pretty fast. I just wanted to formalize because I feel like things sometimes either slid through the cracks or just weren't clearly communicated into, like, oh, this actually did get implemented.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the process matters because of just tragedy of the commons. It's like none of these things are necessarily hard to do, but if everyone isn't on the same page, then it's like, oh, I thought it was someone else's job.
Exactly.
So that all makes sense. Cool. Sounds good to me. I also think if an author is really incentivized to create an issue, it shouldn't stop them from doing it. But I just want to make sure that there's a formal process for it to make sure it's actually happening.
Do you think I should add that into the RFC?
If you want, it's not gonna block my vote on it, but.
Okay, maybe I'll just clarify that small point, but otherwise great.
I'm gonna drop y'all. I got some things I need to take care of.
All right, later, Joe.
Bye.
The newest RC that I guess is a smaller group, but that maybe worth talking about is the distribution team RFC that Joe opened. Adding new sub team.
New sub team. I don't think I saw that.
I pushed him to open an RFC about it today because he just opened a PR, I think, on the community repo that changed the sub team text to add another team. But I think it's a big enough project impact that it probably deserves an RFC. But it's PR 113, I think. But basically trying to find a place for the Circle CI orb as well as the Buildpack registry work. Because they don't seem to fit from previous discussions, the kind of platform team, which I think seems to be the place where if nothing has a home, it goes there.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Distribution team.
I mean, the pack orb could live in the platform team.
I think it does today, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does today. Much the same way as like the Techcon could also probably live in distribution, maybe, in the sense that it's a tool that we're kind of like we're organizing for users to, I don't know, distribute cloud native Buildpacks on another platform.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think
but
like
then
the Techcon examples, like,
yeah,
because they're really examples, right? And the pack orb similarly, but also like I would think that the distribution team would also be in charge of maybe like the brew pack stuff, but I don't know. Like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at what point is like, if that's true, then like, what does platform own? Pack? Is that it?
Yeah, that's like the question. I know, like when I talked to Javier on like about maintainer track, so he was like, one of the big things is he's like, yeah, like maintainers work on the distribution of pack and making sure that like it covers every platform. So this kind of like necessitates adjusting, or I don't know, I have to adjust my mental model on what that means. It could be that Techcon is more of a platform because we're like running the life cycle. I haven't even looked at the pack org, so I don't know.
No, I mean, I think it's a fair question. I always thought Circle CI felt like it should belong in platform. I get why Buildpack registry and stuff should be separate, because it's like, this is one thing that's not like the others. It's like not a platform at all. It's not a platform where you're running the life cycle, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of the separation. It's like, I feel like anything under platform is like a place where someone is running a life cycle in some shape or form. And like how to package and distribute like basically life cycle in a, I guess, more user-friendly way. So I guess, would you not want Circle CI? Would you want Circle CI pack orb to remain inside of platform if you were to lean one way or the other?
I feel like in terms of content, perhaps it should be. I don't know. I haven't touched it in the 7 months or so I've been in the project, so I don't know to what degree it actually gets actively maintained, and it could be putting it in distribution would help it get that active touch. I don't know what more development it needs.
I don't know if it needs a whole lot. Like, I think we allow people to specify the version of packs. You don't even have to update it based off of pack releases, right? But yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I guess,
the default is 11 too. So we should probably
what?
update that.
Yeah.
The default
Yeah, I
says
mean, I don't know.
11.
Maybe we need to update it because we need to change the default. And maybe that's something we should do as part of the pack release process, or like part of that checklist. Do you guys ever talk about the Circle CI orb in your meetings?
Not really.
It's like the unloved child.
Oh wow, it's so
Finding a new home.
apparently we had this thing the
Where
whole
it can
time.
be free and grow.
I guess so.
Do you talk about Techcon examples? I feel like Javier brings that up every now and then.
It's come up. It was like on our internal team backlog a bunch of times. So we, I think that there's kind of more active usage, or people at least post more about it. And apparently sometimes we point to it to give an example on how to like implement the life cycle. So that, yeah, we like adjusted Techcon within like, I adjusted it to use a creator like maybe or so.
Do you have to manually update like the lifecycle version stuff in the Techcon example? Like when we release, say, like the next version of lifecycle, does Techcon pull that in automatically?
I
Like
think
you just pull the example, or do you need to update it?
I think it's set to a specific tag of
the lifecycle?
a Docker image of the lifecycle.
I see.
I think.
So we update that image, I guess.
I think so. I'm definitely down for having the Buildpack registry in this and just not care about Circle CI. But
yeah, I mean, I just think if Travis is the one who's maintaining Circle CI, he should just do that as part of his work on not platform or on platform.
is he? That's his. He maintains that.
Yeah, I think he's the one that maintains the Circle CI org for the most part.
Okay.
Because we use it internally at Heroku. I think we moved off of our own implementation of a pack, our own, not org, but
Distribution.
yeah, solution. What should have been an org.
Okay, that makes sense.
But mostly just like anything else is right. Like it's just a convenient way to be able to not have to download pack manually by hand with curl inside of a circle file, right? Like it's pretty simple. It's like you use this function, or like, I don't, what are they called in circle? Whatever. Use this orb to be able to get access to some pack commands, right? Where it will download and cache and kind of do those things for you.
Great.
I guess the only other thing that's been interesting that I don't know if we want to bring up again is probably I feel like the Buildpack default process discussion yesterday was, I'm still thinking about what we should do about that.
Yeah, I'm kind of in favor of having it live in the life cycle. I feel like at some point it's not so much of an of an opinion that we're forcing on people. We're just the default that they're allowed to change if they want to. But
So you're happy with it as is?
yeah, I think it recently got changed. I think as part of moving to
You're
the new
happy
spec.
before it got changed. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we only realized it was going to cause issues when they changed it, and then we tried updating, the lifecycle version of Pack, and we're like, oh shoot, things just don't seem to work the same. So now I think Pack is providing web as a default, but
So wait, lifecycle data release, but if you use an older version of the API, it more or less works. Is that right?
I think so. So that's why I think Windows has to be in the older API because of that.
So you liked it the way it was before?
It was just something that seemed to work, and I didn't have to think about it.
Now you do.
Now we do.
Funny, this goes
but
all the
now
way
I
back to Joe's thing of just never changing this to begin with, kind of the whole multi-call binary stuff. I think because he's like, oh, Docker run's going to be broken and people are going to care, and people are like, hey, do they really care? Question is yes. Now we suddenly care about Docker images being produced with no run command, because I don't know. I thought we decided then it just didn't really matter if it didn't have a default.
Yeah, it makes me think of that whole RFC where I felt like we were saying these things, at least Joe and I were saying these things, and people were like, ah. And now I feel like we're having that discussion again.
I was excited about that just because I was annoyed when I tried to make a Docker image for Pack using Pack, and I wasn't able to do it in a way that was sensible because we weren't able to set an entry point or a different command, I think. So I'm happy that we're opening the door to do that, but I think the default process ended up being adjusted by that also.
Yep. I mean, I don't know, maybe there's an argument being made that the default process should just be executing shell of some kind. But I don't know. If people don't have other topics they want to talk about, I'm happy to end this early.
Yeah, I think I'm going to hop
that
off
makes
here.
sense.
So
Yeah.
I'll see you all next time.
See ya.